Hey guys, the attention now turns to Sunday, the 6th of April, the Manchester Derby at Old Trafford. Uh, After a disappointing outing against Nottingham Forest at the City Grounds on Sunday, United, Amorim, turns the attention now to the Manchester Derby as they face Guardiola's side, the wounded Guardiola side, um, looking to return back to winning ways and collect the maximum 3 points. But it is not going to be easy because Manchester City also they are aiming for that. They're aiming to achieve the 3 point because they are fighting for the top four at the moment. Uh, After 2-0 win against Leicester on Wednesday, goals from Amosh and Grealish. Grealish scored his first goal for the first time since 2023, but I've never heard anything being said about him because he doesn't play for Manchester United. So this tells you a lot. The media and anything involving or revolving around Manchester United. So Manchester City are fourth at the moment, having played 30 games. They are fourth with 51 points. They are just 6 points behind Nottingham Forest, who won 1-0 against Manchester United thanks to Anthony Langa's first half strike. United, um, you have to scroll down. Unfortunate. They are 13th in the Premier League with 37 points, having played 30 games. Luckily, they are 17 points. Yeah, like they're 17 points now, behind or above the relegation zone. Ipswich Town yesterday won. Surprisingly, they won away at Bournemouth at the Vitality Stadium. They won 2-1, and they moved from 17 to 20 points. They are now just 17 points below Manchester United in that 18th position. But as far as we are concerned, Manchester United cannot be relegated. That is just outrageous and delusional to think that United can be relegated this season. But all in all, United still needs to win games because they don't want to be finishing below the top 10. That will be a disaster. Because at the moment, as I said, they are 13th with 37 points. They are 7 points below the 10th position. That's Bournemouth, who have 44 points. If they had won against Forest on Sunday, I think it will be much easier for them to achieve the that is finishing above the top 10 in the Premier League this season. So currently, Manchester United are 14 points behind Manchester City. In City are having 51 points, and United are having 37 points. That is 14 points deficit for United. And if they had won the game against Forest, it could have been 11 points. So it has not been an easy season for Manchester United. They started the season with Erik ten Hag. He was sacked, and Amorim was appointed mid-season, which I think was one of the mistakes they did. First mistake the board did was to retain ten Hag after the FA Cup win. The second mistake they did was to appoint a new manager mid-season, and the same manager that they appointed plays a different system. So that was the second mistake that the board did, and the deed has already been done. So at the moment, there's nothing you can do about that. And Amorim is just trying to, salvage the season. At the moment, we've only won 10 games out of 30. Yeah, United have won 10 games out of 30, and City have won 15 games, just 5 games more than us. So heading into this Manchester derby, United are heading into the derby with a 1-0 loss, following a 1-0 loss to Forest. City are heading into the derby after a 2-0 win at home against Leicester. Remember, the last time out these two teams met was back in December. A derby debut for Ruben Amorim, and he did well. United won 2-1 thanks to late goals from Bruno Fernandes penalty and a late winner from Amad Diallo. That was after Josko Guardiola's goal to for Manchester City in that game. But we won't be having Amad Diallo. Amad Diallo is injured, and surprisingly, he won't feature until the end of the season. With the reports saying that he might, there's a chance he might return before the end of the season. But at the moment, we don't know if that will be true. But it depends on the journey of the Europa League. If we will be advancing to the semi-final, that means Amad Diallo could, feature for us in the semi-finals or maybe the finals. So at the moment, the Premier League, as far as I'm concerned, the chances of Amad Diallo returning, it's not that that big enough. So the derby is going to be crucial for both teams because the bragging rights, United needs to win the bragging rights. City needs to win for the bragging rights. As far as we are concerned, both teams are struggling with injuries. With the Manchester City recently struggling with the fitness of Erling Haaland. But as far as I'm concerned, confirmation by Manchester City is that Erling Haaland is going to miss the next 6 to 7 weeks following his injury against Leicester, against uh, Bournemouth in the FA Cup. Yeah. Against Bournemouth in the FA Cup. So he missed the 2-0 victory against Leicester on Wednesday night. He's going to miss the Manchester derby. That's obvious, and he'll miss the next 6 to 7 games through injury. So Erling Haaland won't be available against Manchester United on Sunday. That means City will need to field Omama Mosh in that Erling Haaland position, and he did well yesterday against Leicester. He scored the goal. He scored a goal as well to help the citizens with that 2-0 victory. So even though City are missing, will be missing Erling Haaland, Manchester City is still a threat because they still have players who can cover up for the injured Erling Haaland. As I said, Obama Mosh was signed from Frankfurt in January, can really cover up for the injured Erling Haaland. So even though Erling Haaland is injured, I don't think it will be a good news or something to celebrate about as far as we are concerned, Manchester United, because they still have players who can, cause chaos in that defensive lineup or setup for Manchester United. So for Manchester United, I think they will be missing Lisandro Martinez, who is out until August. Amad Diallo is still out. The fitness for Luke Shaw and Eden Heaven, as said by Ruben Amorim on his last press conference. He also said that Luke Shaw, Kobe Mainu, and Eden Heaven are still recovering, and their recovery will determine the process of their recovery will determine when they'll be able to feature in the match day squad. So the moment you don't know if Luke Shaw, Eden Heaven, or Kobe Mainu will be fit enough to face Manchester City on Sunday. What we know is that Altebandri was back in the match day squad against Forest. Lonioro featured, he did well. Harry Maguire came on in the second half as a striker. I had chances, he did well as well. So a bit of injury boost and a fitness boost ahead of the crucial Manchester derby on Sunday at Old Trafford. So we will wait to see if Luke Shaw, Menu, or Eden Heaven will be available against the Citizens on Sunday. So let's talk about the head-to-head stats between these two clubs, the Manchester clubs, that is Manchester United and Manchester City. And the last 5 games, in a competitive matches, the last 5 games these two teams have met, Manchester City have won 3 times. United have won 2 times. Remember those 2 times? One came at the Etihad Stadium, the first leg this season, and one came at the Wembley Stadium, the FA Cup final, the 2-1 win. Manchester City won in the penalty shootout in the Community Shield earlier this season, and the other 2 were at Old Trafford last season. The 1-0, the 3-0 win at Old Trafford, and the 3-1 win at the Etihad Stadium last season. So after that, I think City have been struggling to defeat Manchester United because in the last 3 competitions, the last 3 meetings, City have not managed to win in 90 minutes, as they've only won in the Community Shield in the penalty shootouts. United have won 2-1 in the FA Cup and won as well 2-1 at the Etihad Stadium. So the last three games, City have found it difficult to win against Manchester United. But also, remember that the last time Manchester United won against Manchester City in the Premier League at Old Trafford was back in 2023, the 2-1 victory. Remember the Bruno Fernandes goal, which was deemed controversial, and also the Rashford goal was enough to win it for the Red Devils after Grealish's header. So that was the last time United won at Old Trafford against Manchester City. So they'll be aiming to do the double against our neighbors, the neighbors. The last time United did the double against the neighbors was, I think, the reign of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. If I'm not wrong, was the last time United did the double against Manchester City and Guardiola. So, will Ruben Amorim be the first manager since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer to win the double or to have the double over the Manchester City, or do you think Guardiola, Manchester City, even though they are not in their best form, they can still do it and win it against Manchester United? But one thing I can assure you of is that Ruben Amorim and Manchester United, they have somehow find it easy to play against big teams, but when it comes to small teams, they really suffer. They have gotten points at Arsenal, at Manchester City. They've gotten points against Liverpool, so they really find it difficult to break those defensive setup of small teams. But when it comes to big teams, they find a way of winning those matches. Because remember, Manchester United have played against Arsenal. They won in the FA Cup third round. Remember, in the penalty shootout. They played at Anfield. They do 2-2. That's what a point. At Etihad Stadium, they won 2-1. So it has been always easy for them to play against the attacking teams rather than the defensive team, because number one problem for Manchester United this season and also under Ruben Amorim is scoring goals. That has been number one problem, scoring goals. Remember, against Nottingham Forest, they had chances of winning the game, but somehow they failed to capitalize on those chances they were creating. So that is something that needs to be addressed as soon as possible, because if they are to win the Europa League, if they are to qualify for the Champions League next season, they means they need to win the Europa League. And if they are to win the Europa League, that means they need to work on that. Then they need to work on finishing those chances. And this brings us to a discussion. Do you think Rasmus Højlund is the one that can they rely on Rasmus Højlund to be scoring those goals, or do you think it's high time for Ruben Amorim to put the trust on the young lad that is Chido Obi Martin? Because if they are good, they're old enough. Remember, Lamine Yamal at 16 years old was representing Spain and Barcelona. Ethan Nwaneri for Arsenal at the moment. In the absence of Bukayo Saka, he steps in and is doing quite well at the moment. So I think it's high time United also put trust in on Chido Obi Martin. Same way Ten Hag put the trust on Kobe Mainoo. I think we need to trust this young lad and give him more minutes. I think he should be permanently promoted to the first team, and he should be presenting the first team like 60%, and if needed, he can present the under 18, the under 21 in the 40% remaining. So I think United could have won against Forest easily if they had someone who can take those chances. And somehow they were wasteful, and I was surprised to see that Ruben Amorim started with Zirkzee as a striker, because as far as I'm concerned, Zirkzee is not a striker. Zirkzee is more like a midfielder. He's an attacking midfielder, and when he started, I saw the lineup. I was wondering, where are the goals going to come from, and that was the way it was. I think he realized his mistake earlier in the first half, and he immediately brought in Rasmus Højlund. But the damage has been already been done in the first half. Starting with the Zirkzee as a striker, that was, I think, a mistake. And Bruno Fernandes also, I think he's used to playing as a deep lying midfielder. I think Bruno Fernandes has developed to playing as a deep lying midfielder because against Forest, you could see him dropping down, dropping deep in midfield, and trying to get those chances. So I think Bruno Fernandes as a number 10 somehow doesn't help in playing as a deep lying midfielder, as he has been playing most of the game this season has been helping. So those are the two mistakes that was done by Ruben Amorim against Manchester City. He can do experiment because all the experiments he did against Forest, the experiment he will do against Manchester City. I don't know if it will work, but he should not try the experiments against Leon, because if it will be an experiment against Leon, it will be a costly mistake, and we will not recover from that. Remember, we are playing away to Leon. The worst result could be a draw. We should be going there aiming for a win to make it easier for us at Old Trafford. The same way we did against Real Sociedad. At least we didn't lose at away. We drew, and at Old Trafford it was really easy for us, even though we considered first in the first half. But against Leon is a different team than Real Sociedad, and I think they have players who can who can cause harm, like I say, the likes of Traore and Cheki. So we should not experiment anything against Leon. Should be going there aiming for the win, and the win is what we will take out of that match. So, but first of all, we need to silence the neighbors at Old Trafford on Sunday. Manchester Derby, big game coming on Sunday. Don't forget to support your club, and at the end of the day, win, lose or draw, Manchester United is still Manchester United. And remember, we need to put all the trust in Ruben Amorim. The media will be getting all the conspiracies, all the stories about Ruben Amorim, blah blah, this and that. But we should not allow that affect us as a fan base. We should trust our manager, believe in him, because I tell you what, I believe in Ruben Amorim that he is the one to take us back to the glory days. Manchester Derby on Sunday. Thanks for watching, guys.